The Londonpreneur Show with Michelle Carter.
Welcome to another episode of The Londonpreneur Show, where we interview a new entrepreneur every Monday and Friday. Today I have the lovely Michelle Callipari from MSC Business Services. Welcome, Michelle.
Thank you very much for having me. I'm excited.
So my first question for everyone is, what gets you out of bed in the morning?
I had to really think about this question to narrow it down.
Okay.
There's a lot of things that get me out of bed in the morning. I think because what I do as a virtual assistant is still new to me, so that definitely gets me out of bed in the morning. It's an excitement of what the new day is going to bring. But at the end of the day, the same thing that gets a lot of people out of bed in the morning, and that's my family. I do what I do for my family.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So when did you realize that you wanted to be an entrepreneur?
I have been in an entrepreneurial family for a very long time. My father is a prominent real estate agent in London, and he has been for 43 years. So my entire life, he's always been an entrepreneur. I just never really understood the scope of that until I got into the working world. Myself. I started working at 13. I was babysitting and then working in restaurants and retail. And I very, very quickly realized that being an employee was not my thing. I really didn't fit that mold. I did it because I didn't know what else to do. I mean, you just go out, you get a job, you make money. That's what we do. Right?
Yeah, that's what we're grown up with.
And I did it for many, many years. But I was never happy. Never happy. I just didn't realize there was other options, even though my father was an entrepreneur. It just didn't click in, I guess you could say.
So what's your favorite part about being a virtual assistant?
Oh, gosh. I think there's a couple things. The first thing I really, really like is the learning. Okay. I'm learning so many new things. I really believe that when I became a virtual assistant, I wanted to do basic typing, data entry, CRM and database management. That was where my strengths were. But I very quickly realized that that's not really a huge market right now. A huge market right now is in online advertising, online marketing, social media, website design. So I've actually spent the better part of the last 6 months just training myself on new things, and that has been really fun.
Any favorite apps or programs that you just learned?
I just discovered LastPass.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, gosh. I don't know how anybody lives without LastPass, remembering all your different passwords for different websites and functions and apps. And that has saved my life, especially as a VA and having numerous different clients where I need special logins.
Oh, right.
So this makes a huge difference.
You can track all those passwords in one spot.
Yes. It's so nice.
So as your business has started, what have been some of your successful marketing strategies that you've incorporated?
One of the things, I've aligned myself with some great people right from the beginning. I was very lucky when I started my business to do some on-purpose networking, I called it. I found a few select groups, and that's where I went right away. And these groups target entrepreneurs and women. And I knew that's sort of where I wanted my business to go. And those are the people I wanted to help. So I aligned myself very quickly with them, and that's really helped me with my business. All my business has come from those groups minus one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you mind, but can you name the one that was most profitable for you?
Actually, they're both equally. The first one was the London Mompreneurs, which you both know very well, and the second one was the Women in Business Group.
Oh, good.
They have both been extremely beneficial to me, not just profit-wise, but with the connections I've made. I've actually been able to connect other people through these businesses as well, and that's been really nice.
And how do you think you sort of network on purpose? What's do you define that as?
I found that when I say on purpose, it's because I was going to specific networking meetings and groups that were the target audience that I wanted and the target people that I wanted to be with, which was women entrepreneurs. So I made sure, there's so many networking groups in London, you know that.
Yes.
You could be going to a different networking event twice a day, probably, one at lunch, one at night, one in the morning. And so when I was looking for them, I knew I needed to target specific ones that were where I wanted to go with my business. And that's been instrumental in my learning as well. The women in these groups are, as you know, phenomenal to learn from.
Absolutely. Have you gotten any specific advice from someone that you'd like to share with the audience?
The best advice I've ever heard, and I don't know who specifically said it or maybe sent it to me, was find your passion and then you'll find your purpose.
Okay.
And I've struggled with that for many, many years. I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur, but I had no idea what to do. And I think a lot of women struggle with that. I have what I like to call a severe lack of courage.
Okay.
At least that's what I think I have. If you ask my friends and family, they would say I'm the complete opposite. But it took me a long time to figure out my passion.
Okay.
So that I could find my purpose and build my business.
And did you experiment with a few things to find that passion?
I did. I was introduced to like network marketing and direct sales.
Mm-hmm.
And that was actually a really great introduction into entrepreneurship. Mm-hmm. You learn a lot, and it's a lot about self-teaching and knowledge and really becoming aware of your passion and your abilities.
And
so that really helped. Absolutely. That helped me a lot. I'm still involved in direct sales, but that's not where my main focus is. My main focus right now is my virtual assistant business.
Absolutely. So where would you like to see your business 5 years from now?
5 years from now, I would love a steady business of dedicated clients that I can just help on a regular basis. Mm-hmm. I would love to say that I would have a team as well. I see myself working with a team of people that do different things. So the things that I'm not necessarily good at, I'd love to have some specialists in that realm so that we can offer a full package of services, not just what I offer.
Very good. Yeah. Is there anything you're struggling with in your business today?
It's still my courage.
Yeah.
It's the courage to put myself out there. The courage to say no.
Okay.
Is huge. And I've learned that in my business. And it's happened to me a couple of times in my business where I didn't have the courage to say no to doing something that was really out of my comfort zone and out of my knowledge base. I was honest in the fact that I said, I'm not really sure how to do this, but let me try to figure it out. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, I probably should have said no and let someone else do it and do it properly.
And so now that you've had that experience, you're more likely to say a no to help
Absolutely. I think as an entrepreneur, we have to have the ability to say, this is way out of my comfort zone and this is out of my knowledge base. As much as I want to help you, let me point you in the right direction.
Absolutely.
As opposed to just, you want to take all the business you can, right? But that doesn't necessarily work all the time.
Mm-hmm. And where can we find out more information about you and your business?
I'm all over the place. You can find me, of course, on social media, on Facebook. My web address or my Facebook address is facebook.com MSC Biz Solutions. So that's BIZ. Mm-hmm. My website is www.mscbizsolutions.ca as well. And I'm all over social media and at numerous networking events as well. Again, very choosy, but I'm out there.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you so much for having me. This was great. It was fun to be able to prepare and dig deep and figure out the answers to the questions.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. And thank you to all of our sponsors for today's episode. Style and Makeup by Pink Ink, Hairstyle by Sonia Bento, Nails by Brighton Nails and Spa, as well as the custom art jewelry today by Susan Dinner. Thank you to the art who's provided by Cheryl Jennings behind us. And thank you to Desi from Desi's Boutique for today's wardrobe. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.